Hey everybody, what's up? It's Catherine. I want to talk to you today about returning to endless possibilities. What would it be like if you had the sense of returning to endless possibilities, infinite possibilities, where everything is open, everything is available, everything is here now? It's like this great buffet for you to choose from in order to have the experience in life that you prefer. What would that feel like? What would it look like? What would you be doing in that experience that you prefer? What kind of energy would you be having? What kind of excitement and enthusiasm for life would you be experiencing? Now, when you start to think about that, ever notice how you automatically start to think of what's in the way of that, or why it isn't that way right now, this experience that you prefer so much more? Because every time we reach for something new, every time we reach for something that is beyond the experience we're having in the moment, in such a way that it's more preferable, it's more desired, it's something that fulfills our wish, our greatest hope for a life well lived. Every time we're going to butt up against what's in the way of that, what we think is in the way of that. And this could be, something that you are believing is part of your external environment that's in the way, maybe some way the world is or the way it operates, or maybe it is something you're aware of on a more internal level, like a state of consciousness that you have that you just feel blocked, you feel overwhelmed, you feel a kind of despair or disappointment. Maybe you've tried things before and didn't work out, and so you feel kind of, in this emotional hangover of trying so many things and just feeling defeated a lot. So what you're bumping up against is an echo. And when we do that, we tend to go into something called closed circuit thinking, or a closed circuit experience of life. And this means that we loop in the same level of consciousness based on the same definitions, belief structures, meanings that we've given to these kinds of things that we're bumping up against as echoes that have happened in the past. And then we stay in that same loop of consciousness because we respond to this event, which really is new, it really is, in the same way we always have. And what we're really laboring under is this illusion of continuity. And we think that we're kind of taking the past into the future, stringing it together like a necklace, like this chain of silver links, linking one moment to the next after next after next. And really, this is just part of the illusory linear construct that we have of continuity. It doesn't actually exist. But like anything in this 3D reality realm, it can if we believe that it does. And so your belief is really concretizing this idea that I'm the same person in this moment that I was a minute ago, and a minute before that, and a minute before that. There's nothing written anywhere that says that you are. And now when you break yourself free of that concept, of this idea that you have no obligation whatsoever to be the same person in this next moment as you were a moment ago, or 10 minutes ago, or even 10 years ago, you can start to break yourself free. You start to realize that actually each new moment presents a new choice point, and I can choose differently than I have before. And how might you choose differently when you're presented with this echo, this seemingly familiar thing that keeps cropping up, part of your past that keeps showing up like a bad penny? Well, your response to that is the choice point you have available to you, where you can choose to respond and react differently than you have in the past. And the easiest way to do that, the simplest way of digging yourself out of this hole, is to respond really with curiosity. How might this be showing up that's actually a benefit for me? Because if this situation keeps knocking on my door like it has been, maybe it's a messenger I sent from myself by myself to tell me something really is keeping me from that which I prefer to experience. And it's time for me to take a deeper look at that. Just that movement into curiosity, and it may seem like a small shift, but inherently in the universe, there's no big or small. There's just change, there's just movement, there's just shifting, there's just experience. And experiences are really, by definition, as far as the quantum consciousness is concerned, neutral. They have no meaning until we arrive on the scene and give it some kind of meaning. So if you're not giving that echo a meaning like you have a million times before, you free yourself of that bond, that illusion of continuity, of you being the same person a minute ago that you're somehow thinking you are bound to in this moment. You're not. Yesterday's circumstances are not, by definition, today's reality. And your response to that has everything to do with that statement being true in your life. And that subtle shift starts to unspool a whole host of new infinite possibilities simply because you chose differently than you have maybe 100, 1,000 times before. So take a deep breath in and really sit in presence with this idea and realize that you don't have to complicate this. And when you do employ these very simple tactics, this very simple process that I'm inviting you and encouraging you to think about and deepen into, you go into something that is called the open circuit experience of reality, which really is unity consciousness. And unity consciousness, we think of it as the collective joining together in harmony, but that can never, ever exist. And in fact, that's another illusory construct, actually. It can never really exist, this idea of harmony in the collective, if we don't unite conflicting parts within our inner state first. So this is where it starts to get juicy. And this is where the rubber meets the road with unity consciousness. A lot of people throw around this terminology of unity consciousness, and it seems like this lofty, nebulous, esoteric concept. Actually, it's incredibly radical when you learn how to apply it in your life. And so that's why I decided to teach Unity School. I've been quietly taking through, some of my group clients and some of my private clients through this process of radically employing unity consciousness as a process, as a model of organizing your reality that has very practical, very hands-on implications and applications in your life. There's really no teaching like this, but I'll tell you something, as a self-proclaimed, self-labeled visionary, change maker, torch bearer, someone is here to go first with a lot of ideas and concepts, and yes, radical new ways of being. I can tell you that this is going to be the organizing model for teaching and mentoring going forwards, because it leaves nothing out. And it really does give credence to this premise that unity consciousness really is not only believing you are 100% the creator of your own reality, but living inside that paradigm and applying it in a very tangible and practical, real world way, where it creates ripple effects in what you want to experience, what you expect to experience, what you are preferring to experience, and organizing of reality that feels very inclusive instead of exclusive. And when you start moving into that level of reality, that state of consciousness, you can't help but find your, let's just say, your tribe of people, or they find you because you're radiating such magnetism and such a sense of self-agency. People tend to see in you something they would like to have for themselves. And this is what creates more of a consciousness ripple in the collective that we would call unity consciousness. So if you're interested to learn more, I have in the comments of this video some information about Unity School. We're going to start on August 27th, 2024, and we're going to meet 3 times a month. I've got all the details down there. But I hope that even if you're not interested in Unity School, that this content is something you like to hear, you're eager for more. And if that's the case, kindly like and subscribe, because it helps other viewers like you find this content that's quick, easy to apply, and actually leaves you feeling like, yeah, I want to know more. I'm excited. This hopefully left you with some optimism and excitement that you really are the creator of your own reality. And there's very practical, tangible ways to start applying that and living in that paradigm of unity consciousness now. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.